Streaming cyberspace into your place, sanctioned by the Bootleg Racing League from Hickory Motor Speedway. It's doubleheader Saturday night on the Virtual Grip Network. First up, penultimate round coverage of the Outlaw SK Modified Invitational Series Season 37. It was Bill James, who was the founding father of analytics in modern sports. For a century, baseball undervalued the on-base percentage. In football, the myth of time of possession has finally been debunked. In an effort to give viewers of this broadcast a deeper insight to this season, sparing no expense, VGN has assigned the Vegas stat boys, Simon and Poindexter, to apply some modern analytic techniques to the Outlaw series. Assuming a clean driver must be a successful driver, the stat boys first looked at incident points. Tom Hilbert was the cleanest driver by a large margin, but that correlated into only Hilbert buried in 11th place in the points standings. So they looked elsewhere. Next, they reviewed top 10s. Jeffrey Harden has 8 of them in 9 tries. Nobody's done better. Surely that would make him the points leader, but no. Harden sits in 3rd, 6 out of the top spot. Donnie Moore leads all drivers in top 5s with 5. But against all logic, Old Time sits 4th on the points, 11 behind the leader. In desperation, the stat boys turned their attention to wins, where John Hine has 3, 2 more than any other driver. But again, shockingly, the professor is not the point leader, but rather sits in 2nd. Simon and Poindexter concluded the stat that best indicates who will be leading in the points is the point stat, where Todd Liston has collected 305 of them, 1 more than John Hine. So armed with all the algebra, it's time for you to pull the lever on the lazy boy and settle in for the simulated short track racing action that's about to stream your way. A warm Tar Heel hello and welcome on this Saturday night, December 7th, 2024. Zach Shaggy Chapman joins yours truly, Bill Soups on. Hi! From the VGN broadcast booth to bring you our Words Eye View replay. Ryan Senator. Turn of the knobs, pushing the sliders. Shaggy, we got Hickory, and we have a huge field of 24 drivers tonight. What do you think?
Man, Saturday night short track racing in North Carolina doesn't get much better than this, Soup. And pretty unique track, Turn 3 and 4, bank 12 degrees, while turns 1 and 2, bank 14. So you get different dynamics in both ends. And right now I'm riding on board here with the 55 of Steven Spies, getting ready to drive through 3 and 4. You're going to see he goes down, tries to basically paint that yellow line with the left front. It helps the car turn, but you see, helps it turn a little too much sometimes, Soup, as he loses the rear end for 1 and 2. And man, you're going to see guys do that, I'm afraid, probably all night here, Soup. You're going to go down there searching for grip, and you're going to find a little bit too much.
Steven, the VGN checks in the mail for that timely spin. Well done. Let's go ahead and review what's going to happen here tonight. 100 laps is the basic distance. You have to finish on the same rubber you start with. No fast repairs. Big Boy Racing, if you break it, you bought it. Let's take a quick look at the points. With Mark Herzog making his season debut last round, the number of drivers who have raced at least once this season climbs to 27. That number is going to balloon after all the first-time guys here tonight. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. 11 of those drivers have raced in all the previous events. Todd Liston leads all drivers in 2 categories, championship points and incident points. Despite a no-show, in one of these events, John Hine nips at Liston's heels. Just a point back. As mentioned in the opening, Jeffrey Harden has only missed the top 10 once, but has yet to win. Old-time Donnie Moore leads all driver in top 5 with 5. But everything else has been 13th or worse. My goodness. Alan Wanamaker is really in a serious slump of late. He hopes to turn that around tonight. A Kern 19th put a damper on Bruce Pearson's championship parade. Kurt Smith did Pearson one worse with a Kern 20th. Let's keep the misery train rolling as Lowell Jewell is coming off a dead last 22nd. The Lipper, Chris Haslett, moves back into the top 10, and it took him 9 races to get here. But welcome back to the top 10 graphic, the Canadian Goose, John Wilson. With that in mind, we got to get right down to the business at hand, which is talking about the grid. We have a lot of drivers here today. Let's go ahead and tell you how they're going to grid up. Remember, the top 15 are inverted from the previous race results. The top 15 finishing 15th last round is Donnie Moore. He'll be on the pole. He's going to be inside of the man we saw in the doing the little demonstration lap there, Steven Speeds.
Inside of row number 2, the 9 ball of Alan Wanamaker, and it is outside the 93 of Chris Hazlett.
Joe Segala will be starting in 5th, a man 1 point out of the lead. John Hine outside of him.
Row number 4, the Canadian Goose to the inside, and Scott Negus in the 29 to the outside.
He's the winner this season. We're talking about Ruben Altice. He's in 9th. Jeffrey Harden will be starting outside of him.
The 3 of Ricky Harden to the inside of row 6, and to his outside, the current point leader in the 87, Todd Liston.
In the Baker's Dozen spot, he's only raced once before this season. He was impressive when he did it. Mark Herzog. He's going to be inside of last round's winner, Aiden Young.
Inside of row 8, the 25 of Tom Hilbert, into his outside, the Caveman in the 32.
Double deuce, Bruce Pearson starting in 17th, inside of Kurt Smith.
Row number 9, Steve Hilbert to the inside, and the Boss Man to his outside.
Welcome back, Hidden Blackjack. It's James Lowe. He's been away for a long time. We'll talk a little bit more about him and another first-time driver here. That's going to be Edward Foster, the Aussie.
Rounding out the field, newcomer Tim Corder in the 60, and to his outside in the 79, the shoe, Adam Shane.
Adam Shane, notorious for driving from the back. Well, boy, if he can do it today, he's really going to show us something. 24 worth of drivers here tonight. This and one more race to go, and we're going to crown ourselves a champion. They come to start. Check-a-lug, makes you want to holler, hidey-ho. It is old-time Donnie Moore out in front, Steven Spieth right behind him. So far, we are clean through 1 and 2. Can we get the first lap in? Looks like we can. Everybody clean through 3 and 4. They come around. We got 99 more to go.
Yeah, not very often either. You get 2 drivers like Donnie Moore and Steven Spieth that have trouble in the previous race and start on the front row. So the guy's playing some serious catch-up early.
Keep an eye on the driver in 3rd position. That is Alan Wanamaker. He is still in the championship hunt. With a large field like this, boy, if you have a bad night, it will be very costly. The points pay all the way down, but you'll just finish so far from the front. You got to make sure that you bring the car home safe. The first battle, 2x2, a little farther back. That involves Jeffrey Harden on the outside. That is the other Harden. It's Harden against Harden. Ricky on the inside. It looks like the purple number 36 is going to have the advantage. The red number 3 trying to hold the spot. There comes Herzog in the in and out 57, looking right in there outside of him. That's your points leader, Todd Liston.
Man, I love your colors, Soup. Absolutely love them. I think that most of us at home, we're going to call that a blue, but I absolutely love it when you call the colors.
I'm from Los Angeles, where the Lakers are 4 and blue. Clearly, they are purple, though. Oh, we got a crash. Let's see who it. Oh, I think it's the number 4 going around. Edward Foster, the driver from down under, goes to the back of the pack. Did not take it all the way around.
Gets a little help from down under, too. It definitely didn't do that by himself. Got some help from the 52 of looks like he's sporting an old school John Deere scheme or something. Steve Hilbert is this week. I'm digging that color combo.
I think Ed Foster probably benefited from the Coriolis effect there. You know how the whirlpools go in the other direction because he races in the southern hemisphere. That car, if he was racing in northern hemisphere, would have gone around for sure. I think he got a little advantage there. The car would not rotate counterclockwise as much as it would if he was above the equator. Well, he moves to the back of the pack. We're not going to do an interview. What we are going to try to do is take a quick look and see who your big movers are so far. Adam Shane, well, we talked about him. He's up 3 spots. Lowell Jewell up 3 as well. Lowell Jewell was in the championship conversation until talking about things south of the equator. Things have really gone south for the boss man of late. He's well down the going down the points.
You're going to have to keep an eye on Todd Liston tonight here. See how far he can march up through the field. You know, that 1 point behind John Hine, he knows he's got to finish in front of him. He's going to leave this racetrack in 2nd place. So he sees the goal. Long way to go, though, for the 87.
This is the 8th time that the BRL have brought the SK Modifieds to Hickory. Donnie Moore and Joe Segala has never missed a race. This will be their 8th race between them. Talk about who has wins here. Donnie Moore has a win, as does Bruce Pearson. Start to double up, and we'll be going green. Working lap number 10 is Donnie Moore as they go into 1 and 2. Steven Speed's right behind him. Wanamaker in third, running at your top 5. It's the Lipper, Chris Hayslip. And there's John Hine in 5th.
Yeah, moving on up, taking positions while he can. And meanwhile, right behind him here, it seems like Joe just pacing in the 29. Scott Negus trying to find a way on the outside. I don't know if we're going to be able to see that work tonight, Sue. It's a long way around and just not a lot of banking to help you.
Scott Negus out of the Jason Mendes school of get the car to the front, use up whatever rubber you got to do to get there, and then make him get around. He is working hard right now. He's only up 1 position. Stuck on the outside, that's Jeffrey Harden in the blue, number 36. Big picture talk. Todd Liston in 11th, John Hine in 5th.
Yeah, and Liston, still being aggressive here. He knows he needs to. He's trying to make it work on the outside. Got it done on Ricky Hart, and he may get it done here. I didn't think he'd get the high line to work, but boy, him and Aiden Young, they're moving up through the field. They're making it work.
You know, a lot of the viewers tune in for the racing. Some viewers tune in for the paint schemes. Let's look at the 69 of Aiden Young. He's got some new colors out there, and that car looks fast. As he worked his way around one of the Hardens right now, that was Ricky. Now he's outside of Ruben Altiz. You're going to see Ruben Altiz in PGN Weekly coming up. He's going to be the guest.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Soup. Aiden sent me a picture of his race car earlier today, and I said, hey, man, you're missing my logo on there. So I sent him the logo. Well, he makes a Shaggy TV-inspired race car here, uses my colors, and slaps it on for tonight. So I'm definitely a fan of that 69 here.
Well, you didn't think the outside line would work, but he did it. Mark Herzog says, you know, I saw what you did there, Aiden. You're a former champion. I'm going to follow you around as well. Mark Herzog, not racing full-time, only raced once before, made a big impression, and he's got the yellow in and out machine doing really well right now as he rolls the top side as well. Quickly jump back to Adam Shane. He's notorious for working his way through the field. He's picked up 5 spots right now. He's on the inside of the caveman Trey Bloom. Give Shane 1 more. That's 6. He's our big mover. Such a long way to go. Look at him now work around the outside. That's Kurt Smith. Oh my goodness, it's a smorgasbord of cars for Shane to pick up. He's filling his plate.
Yep, 7 spots. When you start in the back, you got to get him while you got the fresh sneakers, and he's driving in deep. He is not saving anything.
All right, let's jump up to Scott Negus. He's currently in 6th position. He's got 2 cars behind him. There's John Wilson in the 75, inside of Joe Segala. Segala has never missed a race here in a modified at Hickory. Only him and Donnie Moore have raced in every event right now. Well, Segala's on the outside. You wouldn't think that's the preferred line, except I just saw what Aiden Young just did, and he made it work. Different strokes for different drivers right now. There's Jeffrey Harden trying to get underneath. You have to be really careful if you're Todd Liston. You want to pick up points, but Shaggy was such a large field. One mistake.
Yeah, Steven Spees peeking for the lead. Oh, they make contact. Steven got a little sideways there. He's going to duck in line. And now the 9-ball, look at that run. All of a sudden, here we go. We got 4 cars looking to battle for the lead, Soup. It's going to get exciting.
Indeed, very close. You want to talk about who's racing there for championships? Well, Liston and Hine are 1-2. Jeffrey Harden is 3rd. Donnie Moore is still in the conversation. He's only 11 back, and with a large field like this, he certainly is in contention, as is Alan Wanamaker, who's 12 back. Now, Spees is not. He's trophy hunting.
No, you're exactly right. And as much as those drivers, won't admit it here in an interview after, Soup, they know how many points they're out there trying to race smart. They want to make sure they get through this thing. And if Steven gets too aggressive, that's a chance for him to really steal one.
We ride on board with old-time Donnie Moore. Only 2 drivers here tonight have wins at this track. He's one of them. Double Deuce Bruce Pearson the other. There's a nice shot of the ASPCA Special coming your way. Look at Wanamaker in the 9-ball, starting to get aggressive. Tip of the hat to Hazlip, who's been able to race up front. Let's drop back and look at 5th position. This is John Hine, and here comes the man who's coming, Scott Negus. Goes underneath,
Ooh.
and he gets a little bit loose, and he saves it. Oh!
Man, this broadcaster intuition here has been unbelievable, Stu.
And while that goes on, Spees is going to try it one more time. It didn't work the first time. Look at Donnie Moore pin the 55 down there. They come into curve number 1, Cialis Bathtubs. Momentum to the top side more. Now he drifts a little bit. He loses some ground through the middle of 1 and 2. Coming into 3 and 4. Now Moore begins to fall back. Will the momentum work for him? No, it does not. Now, Alan Wanamaker. Oh, a little dip-to-do, a little hokey-doke, a little hucklebuck. As Donnie Moore tries to go up and under Speeds, it does not work. My goodness, and he did that up and under right in front of the number 9 on Wanamaker, doing a little rhinoplasty work on Wanamaker. That nose is a little shorter. Hazlip now has pulled up behind the 4. Back behind him, there goes Negus. He's coming. Hines surrenders the spot. He's big picture racing right now. The 29 is a-coming.
Man, I'd love to see that 26 parallel park my car, man. The way he fit that thing in there, that was unbelievable. I thought they were all going to crash, and for them to get through that and Donnie to stay that close and be aggressive, that's unbelievable. Big move.
Donnie would like to win, but it's only 1 point. If he were able to pick up, get around Speeds, yes, he picks up the max points, but it's only 1. If it cost him a spin and he went all the way to the back, it would be worth 23 minus points. So you got to think about risk versus reward. A man who does not have to worry about risk right now is Scott Negus. He doesn't want to turn anybody, but he doesn't have to worry about the championship as he's coming. There's another battle back here as John Hine begins to drop a little bit, coming back closer. He doesn't really care so much about losing a spot to John Wilson, but he's got to think the distance between him and Todd Liston. If Hine can finish ahead of Liston, he's guaranteed to at least go into the season with at least a tie for the championship lead. Right now, he'll be a few points above Liston. But we got a long way to go. Only work at lap number 43. How about the large field? And we have gone green for all but just a handful of laps.
Yeah, looking at John's driving style and Aiden and Liston as well, they're all kind of backing up the corners. I think that's the pace. They're trying to play the long game. They know they're not up front. They're probably going to need a late caution and some fresh tires to do anything to Steven. So I think they're making the right move now. But speaking of moves, here Negus goes trying to get by the lipper.
He keeps getting them. As that is done, we're going to jump you real quick because this is a yellow flag about to happen. This is Aiden Young coming on the inside of Scott Liston. Liston feels it gives Young as much room as he wants. The 69 is coming. He's being held up right now. I think Wilson now. Maybe it's John Hine. Hine's got to be worried. He's fallen. He's lost touch with the front pack, and now he's been gathered up by the back pack. And it's going to be Wilson and Harden and Liston and Young. Mark Herzog would like to get there as well. There's a lot of positions to learn. Look at the driver getting underneath. That's Liston trying to get underneath Harden. You know, we talked about Liston. Now he drifts up, almost gets into Young. I'm telling you, the flag man has got the yellow flag clutched in his sweaty hand, ready to wave it right now as they come underneath it. But they stay green.
No, yeah, and you said it. The 69 is one of those cars with nothing to lose. So he saw the gap open up. He's going to send it in there.
Young gets it. Well, I spoke too soon. Let's go back and look at Young. This is Young and Liston. I really think that this is trouble of blueing right now. Liston is pinned underneath. Now it's Herzog going to work the top side. Things are not going well for Liston, and it's not going well for John Hine as well, as he's trying to hold off Wilson and Jeffrey Harden, who is coming. The action is farther back here. Up front, they've read the memo. They're going underneath the car number 4. That's the lap car. They get under him. It's still Spees and Moore and Wanamaker. Tip of the hat to Hazlip, who's having a nice run. The 93 racing in 4th. May have spoke too soon because right behind the lipper, that's Scott Negus. So much action. I'm going to jump you around. I'm going to take you all the way back to James Lowe. We're going to welcome him back, making his 97th career start right now as he's inside of the caveman Trey Bloom. It's been a long hiatus for the number 99, but James is back. He's got 9 career wins to his resume. Don't know if he'll get 10 tonight. There's a long way to go, and he's got to shake off the rust.
Yeah, one of those guys definitely pacing himself early. And, you know, I mean, times have changed, Soup. We've seen some of these races go caution-free. I mean, good, clean drivers, and maybe not anticipating this long green flag run early on. That can really catch him by surprise.
All right, the action is back with the 69 of Aiden Young. He is up 5 spots, and it's all been done on the track, none from attrition. And he's looking to see if he can pick up another one on Jeffrey Harden. But Harden is in the championship bunch. He's not going to surrender his position willingly. John Wilson in the 75 ahead of them. John Hines in a good way now, pulling away from Wilson, kind of racing all by himself. Cushion behind him and a cushion ahead of him. Soft racing for John.
The real question is, what's Jeffrey's spotter Brandy telling him right now? I mean, is she telling him to leave the top? I guess she told him to leave the top open. Here goes the 69.
Well, you can probably leave the top open, but you got to hope that the guy in front of you is not going to slow you down. I'm not sure how quick John Wilson is. Look at the 69 work the top line. What momentum from him. You got to worry how much rubber equity he's burning up to get there. But he and Scott Negus are just working their way to the front. You know, when you start yourself so far back, like Young did, you got to just go. Remember, he's working on a one-race win streak. Can you have a one-race win streak? I guess so. Oh, a little contact behind. Herzog almost gets in it with Jeffrey Harden. Brandy says, easy, hubby.
And Aiden's really figuring. I mean, we watched him whip it through the top in 1 and 2, but it's unbelievable. I think he figured something out there. He did it again, and he's going to drive to the outside of the 75 here, I'd imagine, within the next lap or two. There he goes. Big time run from Aiden Young, man. The New Hampshire Rocket lit the fuse here.
You know, it's funny. The 57 of Mark Herzog saw Young do that, said, all right, I'm going to try that too. But the in-and-out machine did not have the same success that the 69 did. Young Gun is on the move. Now he's coming up behind John Hine. John Hine has pinned that car down low. Let's see how aggressive the 71 defends here. Young going up there again. He does it easily. This time, though, he's got a lapped car in front of him. Uh-oh. I don't know if there's going to be room. That is Tom Hilbert. He's got to put the 25 somewhere. Yes, it's sim racing, but the car still has mass. It still takes up space. He does a great job. Backmarker United Media. If he comes to your local meeting hall, make sure that you leave him a comfortable seat up front and give him one of the good donuts.
Yeah,
nice
now they're
job,
coming up on another one here. Aiden wanted to jump the gun here and go up there, but just not enough room. Coming up on the 52, so Aiden's got to be patient here. He's got a quick car, but just got to calm down.
Young makes quick work of both Hilberts, Steve and Tom. Good to see them racing with us. Steve doing a good job. Chief keeping the car up high, which is a tough thing if you're a back marker here because the lines are so equal. Oh man, Hilbert almost got in the wall, but he does a good job at keeping the car going in the right direction. Hard to get out of the way when the lines are so equal. There's really no slow line to hide at. All right, let's turn our attention up front. It was a 5-car train, then it got down to a 4-car train. We have lost Chris Hazlip. The Lipper did a good job of hanging in there. He's going to be dinner here for Scott Negus in a minute. But our attention is to the front 3. Steven Spies, who's led 33 laps. Donnie Moore, who's led 34 laps. And then Alan Wanamaker, who's just been in the 9-ball watching them race. They're coming up behind a lap car here. With such a large field, we have laps cards to deal with. This is another newcomer to the series. Welcome, Tim Corder in the number 60. Does a good job of letting the leaders go by. And down into the racing line. Go ahead.
This is a case, Soup. If we wave the checkered flag right now, could you imagine how interesting the points are? I mean, Donnie and Alan, they kind of had a gap.
Yep.
John being middle of the field here, Todd being 11th. Boy, oh boy, it could be any driver's race here going to the championship week.
Indeed, you almost hope it finishes like this because we're going to have ourselves a great finale.
Amen. Amen. Let's keep this thing green.
I turn your attention back up front again. Oh, we look. No, this two-car battle. Let's stay on this for a minute. That's the yellow car. Was that Herzog? It is Herzog on the inside of Wilson. Little inverse numbers there. The 57 against the 75. In the popcorn position is the Sunset Over Sea colored machine of Todd Liston, your points leader. All right, we knew it was coming, and here comes Scott Negus, working on the outside, doing it the Aiden Young way. Learn to be fast where they ain't. Pins him down, and he rolls the top side. You're not clear yet. Hayslip does a good job of fighting it off, but the 29 is clear. Started in 8th position. He's cut that in half in 4th. But the going gets a little tougher the higher up in the standings you get. Let's turn our attention up front, because little by little they are dropping train cars. It was 5, it was 4, it was 3, and now there's just 2. It's like an Agatha Christie novel. Steven Spees and Donnie Moore left. I say that, but you never know, because there may be a new time, a new guy coming. Scott Negus is in 4th. He's got to get around Alan Wanamaker. Wanamaker all by himself has the cushion of a lap car between them. Steven Spees has led 43 laps. What he wants to do is lead the next 20, but he's going to have to put on his dancing shoes. If you're thinking about winning, get the mirror ball spin and grip the groove, make your move. We need the funk, gotta have the funk, it's time to boogie. Kind of missed the post there on that one. I thought we had a little shorter music intro. I'm going to blame that on the director. I think he lengthened it for me.
I think Liston heard the music, though, because he's trying to get by the Canadian Goose here. He knows he's running out of time, and he needs every single point he can get for that 87.
Back there feels like dancing, It's a dancing machine. Todd Liston getting to the inside. Wilson to the outside. Both of these guys have championships in either this race or the one in the late models. Boy, they are side by side. Liston gets a little bit loose. You got to be careful, Todd. Your whole season could be thrown away right here as he's battling to get what would be inside the top 10. He can't get it done yet. Not missing anything up front. They are all single file. Donnie Moore doesn't have anything for the leader. This is where the action is. And probably maybe the championship battle right here as well. John Hine racing in 6th.
Here comes Ricky Harden, too. You know he always has tires at the end, so it's going to get even harder for Liston.
We knew who the big movers would be. One driver that we thought would be able to work his way through the field would be Adam Shane. Such a large field. Actually find Shane in my stick as I continue to look. So many. Oh my goodness,
he's
at the
in
very bottom.
He called it quits. Yeah.
Right. Not expect to see him all the way down there. All right, we're coming up with 10 to go. Let's turn our attention to Wanamaker now. Wanamaker maybe want to make a way into 2nd position as he's coming up behind Donnie Moore. Donnie Moore use all of the stuff, hopes to get around Spees. Very important that both those drivers in the points conversation. Negus' the water level has leveled off back there in 4th position. Hazlett looks comfortable in 5th.
Tick, tick, tick. 9 to go, Soup. I mean, this is great racing here if you're looking for long green flag, but some of those guys in the points, they're going to have their head in their hands here. I mean, this is a tough one to swallow. Not a lot of chance to make up ground.
Going to drop you back to 5th position. Making his car as wide as a Julia Roberts smile is John Hine. I would think that Hine would probably, if he can finish where he is right now, would go into the final race in the points lead, but you never know. Math is hard sometimes. Oh no, behind him. Do they go around? Herzog goes sideways. Harden goes sideways. We have a yellow and they pile in. Other drivers involved. Lowell Jewell was late to the... My goodness, guys, that yellow was late coming to Lowell Jewell and the caveman. The spin had been going on for a while. No, it was not the caveman. I apologize. It's Double Deuce Bruce Pearson. Shaggy, is it like the vision? Is it hard to see? Is it maybe blind as they come around there?
Yeah, I mean, it's tougher. It's a lot of shadows, and you got all those cars ahead of you. And, well, I mean, you know, some guys just, you know, if I'm being honest, Soup, let's call it is what it is. Some guys trying to, you know, shoot for that extra spot. They're used to maybe the old school racing, you know, racing till the caution comes out. And, well, nowadays it takes it back to that previous loop. So we just got to get settled down and lift that throttle a little earlier sometimes.
Well, let's dial up old-time Donnie Moore in the 26. Donnie, it's Soup up here in the booth. Where do you want to start, inside or outside?
It's not my choice, unfortunately.
Well, where do you want Spees to go? You want him up high or do you want him down low?
Oh, I'd love to him to go up high, but I don't think he will.
Really? That's funny because what we've been seeing that, well, maybe it might just be the talent of the guys doing it. We've been seeing guys like Negas and Aiden Young make the topside work. You haven't had any luck up there. Let's talk about the over-under. When Spees got under you there, you fought back. It was breathtaking.
Breathtaking, was it? Yeah, geez, I was trying to hold my position, but he's fast. He's fast.
Well, maybe if you were looking at it from Alan Wanamaker's point of view. Well, good luck to you, man. You know, you're in the championship hunt, so green, white checker, risk versus reward, buddy. Get a good finish.
All right, man, thanks.
All right. Look at him keeping the rubber warm. So we do have a green, white checker. Is this correct? Am I right on this, helper? All right. So it's 2 laps. They get the green, they come around, they get the white, and the race is over. If there's a spin on the final lap, they race to the end. That's probably the best news that Donnie Moore can hear right now, because even though he's on the outside, how many positions can you lose in 2 laps? Negas is out there. Watch out for John Hine now is put on the outside. Okay, we're going. 2 laps to go. Speeds looks comfortable in there. We're going to focus on Donnie Moore. It's Moore and Wanamaker. Wanamaker's been following him so long, they go side by side. This points that Wanamaker's picking up could be so very important. Here comes Negas. He's going to try to steal one more from Moore. Watch out for John Hine. He's stuck on the outside with Hazlett going underneath him. This is the final lap. Champions are losing positions. On the inside is listed. He's trying to pick up spots. But coming out of the final corner, the win is going to go to Spees. Wanamaker gets second. Moore gets third. Where does Hine come across? Hine will finish in 5th. Liston comes home in 10th.
Yeah, by half a bumper behind Ricky Harden. They touch going over the finish line, Soup. That was so close. I mean, they were racing for 10th, or for 9th, like it was for 1st. What a great run, those two. It was a great finish.
We started with 24-16 finish on the lead lap in the magic 15 spot. It's the caveman. Look for him on the pole next round for the season finale. We're going to take a short break. We will come back, run down the entire order, talk to some of the drivers, and then before we go, we'll give you an update on the points so you know what to expect in the season finale. You're watching the Virtual Grip Network. Welcome back to Hickory Motor Speedway and BGN's penultimate round coverage of the 37th edition of the Bootleg Racing League's Outlaw SK Modified Invitational. The results of the race are in. Let's give them to you now. 24 drivers took the grid. 16 of them finished on the lead lap. He led 65 of the 102 laps, I believe we went, and that is Steven Spees. Congratulations to Steven as he picks up his second win of the season. In a very important swap of positions, Alan Wanamaker got around Donnie Moore for second. They were a point, Wanamaker was a point behind Moore in the standings. When they started, they'll be tied, and they both will pick up distance on John Hine and Todd Liston for the season finale. Woo-hoo! Don't want to miss that one, baby. Wanamaker goes second, Moore gets third. Scott Negus came all the way from 8th position to move up into 4th. John Hine was started in 6th, finishes in 5th, and had a great restart then on the end as he was starting on the outside of row 3, was able to pick up a spot as he worked his way around Chris Hastling. Again, more championships ramifications. The star of the show was Aiden Young, 14th to 7th, and on most cases that would have been enough to get the win, but the passing was at such a premium here at Hickory, he just could not get there. The Canadian Goose, John Wilson, comes home in 8th. Ricky Harden in 9th, and Todd Liston, who entered this race as your point leader, well, he got himself a top 10, and hopefully that'll be enough to keep him in the championship conversation. Cheggy.
Yeah, bringing it home 11th in the 6 car, we got Kurt Smith. He edged out just by about half a car length the boss man Lowell Jewell, who brought home 12th. Ruben Altice comes home 13th over the newer to Shaggy, but the former racer here. Good to see James Lowe back in that 99 machine. 15th, of course, the caveman Trey Bloom. We talked about it. He'll be starting on the pole next week. 16th, Tim Corder in the 60. Tom Hilbert coming home 17th. Jeffrey Harden 18th. Mark Herzog 19th. Rounding out the top 20, we got the double deuce Bruce Pearson. Steve Hilbert, in the 50th. Oh, wait, where are we at?
That's all right, I got it. Hit.
There we go.
Joe Segala, Steve Hilbert, Edward Foster, and Adam Shane called it a night there as he was not able to come home. He finishes dead last in a field of 24. Tip the hat to Tim Corder. First time, able to finish on the lead lap. Congratulations there. Hopefully, we'll see you up maybe in the top 10 soon and then a podium as you work your way. You got to earn it here in the Bootleg Racing League's Outlaw SK Modified Series. Let's go ahead and talk to our race winner. He led 65 laps. Took him a while to do. Now, he started in second. Sometimes when you only pick up one spot, seems like it was a lot of hard work there for you, Stephen.
For sure. It's always hard work passing here at Hickory and making sure you don't get into anybody, and trying to get around Donnie Moore just makes it that much more difficult.
I don't know if you looked in your rearview mirror after you made the pass on Moore, but he did a little hucklebuck there and came underneath you. Thought he might have some moves there, but you were able to hold him back.
Yeah, once I got around, I just really tried really hard just to look forward, not pay attention to what was going on in the mirror, and just try to hit marks. But, I learned about, 50 or 60 laps into that race that I need to adjust where my seat is. My legs started cramping, I'm getting dehydrated. I'm getting old, Soup. I can't do this anymore.
Were you able to adjust it during the race, or did you have to tough it out?
No, I had to tough it out. So, it's tough being a pretend racer, but it's sacrifices that we make to try to get through.
There you go. That's well said. Hey, I want to get you out of here on this one. It's not often with such a large field. First of all, I'm going to tip the hat to everybody who raced today. A field of 24, only 2 cautions. Pretty good for Hickory, eh?
Oh, 100%. I wanted to kind of be aggressive as I could early in the race to try to get that lead from Donnie if I had a chance to. Because, exactly that. I figured that we were going to have cautions. It's Hickory. It's so tight. It's so hard to pass. So luckily I got it, and then we just stayed green, so no worries.
And then an interesting case, it's not often that we have legitimately lap traffic from drivers who are putting on the pace but just couldn't keep up. You had to get around a few of them. Any problems with the lappers? So you did a good job of getting out of the way.
Overall, a great job. There was one that I don't even remember who it was that decided to pit and just kind of get out of the way. But them pitting kind of put them right in my line where I like to come off before, so I about caught the outside wall coming down the straightaway, which worried me a little bit. I think I lost a couple of tenths, and Donnie closed up a little bit, but then was able to focus back after that and close it out.
Well, it's always nice to see you race. You started in second, but it was a hard-earned win. Your second of the season. Congratulations, man.
Thanks. Let's see if we can double up tonight.
There you go, Steven Spees, looking to go 2 for 2 in the late model event coming up a little bit later. All right, Shaggy, who you got?
I think I got the 9-ball of Alan Wanamaker on his way up here. Hey, Alan, Shaggy in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Yeah, hey, Shaggy. How you doing, man?
Well, man, not as good as you. You know, you're kind of running down Donnie there in the closing laps with about 10, 15 to go. And, well, you get a timely caution. What's going through your mind under that caution? Did you think you had a chance to take over P2?
Yeah, I mean, I tried to, was hoping Donnie or Steven to make a mistake. Of course, they didn't. They're very good drivers. I even tried to back off a little bit to cool my tires and then get back up on them, but they were too good. So what was going through my mind in the caution is like, well, maybe if I can get a good start, I can get under Donnie, which is kind of what happened, and get by him that way. When I first saw the caution, I was like, we just had a few laps to go. Let's finish it out. But then I started thinking maybe I could get under him. But yeah, it was tough. It was a good race. I mean, this is a tough track.
Yeah, man, a tough track and normally a lot of wear on those tires. How were they feeling at the end of the race? You still feeling pretty good? I mean, it looked like you had some grip still in the bottom.
Yeah, I did. It was getting a little tricky to turn, so I started just barely, like maybe 5, 7, 8% trail braking, just a little bit to get it to turn. But I think I had about the same tires as the guys in front of me. But it's just really tough to pass. There's really not much of a high line, at least there wasn't tonight. So it was save tires, try to get by, and hope someone makes a mistake.
Yeah, man, and at the end of the day, I know you can't be out there thinking about it, but we're points racing here, man, and a P2 really puts you back in the picture with Liston and John Hine. I mean, John finishing there in the top 5, not too bad, but able to make up some good ground. So good run for you, Alan. Congratulations on the P2, man. Who you want to thank before we kick you out of here?
Yeah, I just want to thank Lowell for putting all this on. He does a great job. He's been doing it a long time. It's very fun racing. I want to thank Toymaker Racing and some of my teammates, Chris Hazlip's in here, Torrance Childs, Gavin Adams, and Yesteryear, my sponsor.
Well, great run, Alan, and we look forward to a lot more of these, my man. Good luck in the championship week.
Thanks, Shaggy. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, I'm able to run down Donnie Moore, our third-place finisher. We talked to him during the race. Donnie, you lost the lead, and then at the very end, you lost second. But third is not a horrible finish.
Yeah, I guess so. I didn't need that last yellow. Second would have been better. Starting on the pole, and I knew Speeds was going to be behind me. I knew you have to be perfect the next 400 corners. That's a lot of pressure, so I don't know how long I lasted, but hats off to Steven. Good race.
On the pass the Speeds made on him, we just talked to him a second ago. He said he was having a hard time getting it done. Was it a mistake, or it's just he was just too hard to hold off? Could you have done something different to hang in there for those final 65?
When he initially got me, no, I didn't do anything wrong. He just drove it down in there, and he had a lot of exit speed. So he got the pass done.
When you were out in front for the first 36 laps, how hard were you racing? Was there a concern of having something at the end, or were you racing hard enough to stay out in front? What's the thinking?
In the past, I just, go like heck. But now with these tires, I mean, I had to try to baby them a little bit. But the last 15 to 20 laps there, they were going away, and he was starting to pull away. I was able to stay with him there for a while, but the last 15, yeah, these new tire models, I mean, they're wearing.
You mentioned that, and we can actually see it on the broadcast, how everyone kind of starts to behave. The racing, the first 20 laps is totally different from the racing in the last 20, where people just can't do what they were doing early.
Yeah, not to interrupt, boys, but did you see iRacing shared a video on Facebook today? Next Tuesday, they're going to start to add debris on the track. So when you float up the track, you're going to pick that rubber up on the tires. Somebody goes in the dirt in front of you, it's going to come out on the track. It's going to be a whole new ball game next week after the update.
All right, fantastic. It's always a new learning experience, always changing.
All right, Donnie, congratulations. You're still the championship. Losing the spot to Wanamaker did not help you on that, but you're in the conversation. Good luck in the season finale, man.
I appreciate it, Soup. Thanks.
All right, Donnie Moore, your third place finisher tonight. What a great interview. Take a quick look at the points, and they did not update, but I'll do some quick math here. We believe John Hind will have a handful in the points lead. We think Liston will still be in second with Wanamaker and Moore right behind him. The big loser tonight as far as championships go was Jeffrey Harden, who finished well down in 18th. He came into this race in third position, 5 back of the leaders. Not the case now. He's going to be well out of the conversation for the crown. So we'll hopefully see you. When are we going to see you again? We'll put it up right now. It's going to be next week. This will be the final race of the season before we take our holiday break. So you'll see that we're going to be going to 5 flags. There's 5 flags because 5 different nations have ruled there at the Speedway. But before then, we're going to be back right here at Hickory for the late model event where Steven Spies hopes to make it 2 in a row. You see some other broadcasts that are happening in 2025. You don't want to miss those as well. We're going to take a short break. Don't go far. We'll be back for the late model event in just a few minutes. You're watching the Virtual Grip Network.